Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have an all-star lineup for tonight. We have many champions on the screen. We have the greatest journalist of all time. And then we have Bill Apter, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, indeed.
Thank you, folks. I'm here all night.
Gentlemen, yes, indeed. Yeet. Gentlemen, how are you tonight?
Well,
Good.
first of all,
Very
when you
good.
say gentlemen, Vince Russo and I, from growing up in New York, we would know that when you say gentlemen, we would say,
We'll say what?
wasn't that a Three Stooges thing, Vince?
What was it? What was it, Bill?
Well, when he said gentlemen, I said,
Bro, I can't hear. Bill sounds like, is Bill talking through a transistor radio?
It sounds like you got a voice box going on there.
I'm on it. No. I don't know why I'm not coming through to you, Vince.
You hear that? Chris, are you hearing that?
Yeah, I'll be with that. It sounds like you got a voice box going on. Check. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, actually, Chris, I'm hearing you talk after you talk.
Yeah, I'm hearing that too.
Delay.
Yeah.
Here we go.
All right.
I'll tell you what I want to talk about, guys.
All right. I'm good. What's up?
I want to talk about Bill Goldberg and his comments and his reaction to his own comments. Okay. And let's talk about Buff Bagwell a second.
Yeah. All right.
And I've got something to talk about regarding off of the Bill Goldberg thing, something that happened tonight, just about an hour ago.
What happened?
I watched NXT for the first time in a long time.
Well, we won't hold that against you.
Thank you.
Very nice.
They can't even spell it. They left the E out. Anyway, I watched NXT, and I'm scared, and I'll tell you why. After the Bill Goldberg issue, Trick Williams, the North American champion, who is now NXT and the TNA champion, was talking and yelling in the ring, and who came out to straighten them out? The Undertaker. Are we going to have now a whole litany of legends making comebacks?
Yes.
Is the Undertaker going one more time? And
that's what I heard.
Does Dutch Mantell have a
comeback?
I'm
coming. I'm coming out of retirement myself.
I figured.
Nice.
I'm gonna wrestle the midget. I'm gonna beat the midget's ass. Oh, I can't say that word, can I?
That's right.
Uh-oh. Beep.
All right. Dutch Mantell against a little person now to be PC now. A little person, right? We gotta say little person.
Oh, we can't use that M word anymore.
Yeah, that's canceled now
You
too.
know,
So
every once a month on Monday nights, Madison Square Garden, back in the 70s, they publicized
That's
the
before
M
my
word,
time.
the midgets. Right. They were great. They were the entertainment. They were the breakup between the serious matches. Skylo Low, Little Brutus, all those people, they were wonderful to watch. And
Before
there
my
are,
time.
yeah, I know it is, but there also are micro midget wrestling companies that call themselves midgets.
Yeah. Well, they need to get rid of that already.
yes, indeed.
We need to put them out to pasture. Anybody that would do that.
Well, didn't Hulk Hogan have a micro
He
championship
did.
wrestling his
He did. Yeah.
his own federation? Yeah,
Yeah.
of little people. All right, so Dutch, you pitched the ideal of talking about Goldberg's reaction to his reaction. I don't know why it's the voice.
Okay, Goldberg, he went out and he was making comments about his match, and he just buried WWE. I've heard they've since apologized to him. They apologized today. I read in a headline. I didn't read what it said about it, but Goldberg went out there and almost buried Gunther with him. He blamed everybody because he didn't like the match. He didn't like this. He didn't like that. He didn't like getting cut off. And I don't blame him there, but surely they told him how much time he had before he went out there.
I talked to his son. I did an interview with Gabe. And the issue here was that no matter what was going on at 11 p.m., NBC cuts off whatever is going on and goes to the local news. They've been doing that forever. Bill Goldberg was complaining and moaning about that this was his retirement speech, and they wouldn't have done this to Undertaker, or they wouldn't have done this to John Cena, but he's wrong. NBC would have cut off whoever was on there at 11 o'clock. So I don't know about WWE apologizing to him. I was told that the Seth Rollins match kind of loused up the timing of the entire show, but he had of 20 seconds of a retirement speech, and then they ran his retirement speech on their social media, the entire thing, so to placate him and the fans. And he should have had that time, but
Well,
again, NBC
how
is not
long
gonna,
was it actually?
the speech
Before
is
you
probably
answer,
about-
Bill, try taking your thing off, your headphones off.
well, then I
because-
can't hear you, Chris.
Check 1, 2. Try talking now, Bill.
No, totally muted.
Oh, you sound so much better.
Totally muted. I usually use my computer, as you know, but tonight I didn't.
Well, you sound better.
Creating
There you go.
the feedback at all.
Yeah, that's what it is. It's the
What do you
feed-
think, Vince? What do you think about Goldberg's comments?
I just think, Dutch, I just, the thing that really hit me and that I took away from it, just because I'm a dad, man, bro, you want your son to break in the business. You want your son to break in the business with the WWE. I would not be saying those things, whether I felt that way or not. And I'm sure he really does feel that way. He should really be thinking about his son, man. If he wants to get his son in the WWE, burying them, and he says he's got an NDA for like the next 10 days, but when the NDA is up, he's gonna say how he really feels. Man, he's hurting the chances of his own son, man.
Okay. What do you
the
think
only
they
thing.
paid him for that match? Anybody have an idea?
No idea.
What do you think, Vince? I heard over $1 million.
I mean, I wouldn't doubt
I
$1
wouldn't
million
doubt it.
bucks. I wouldn't doubt that.
Yeah. Or
Okay, so
gave him the
they
company
paying
credit
you
card.
$1 million, and he wants to go out there and complain and moan, and he didn't like this and he didn't like that. Well, there's a lot of things I don't like, but if they paid me $1 million, I think I'd overlook that just for that little time I was on TV. I would thank everybody. I would thank Gunther, and I would thank my son and the janitor and
That's what he
the
was
bellhop and the taxi driver. I thank everybody.
He had his family in the
See,
ring. He had his friends in the ring, and he probably said to them that we're all going to be on NBC tonight. And boom, 20 seconds later.
Yeah, he said 90 people. He said he had 90 people come around from the entire city, the entire country, come to see this. And so, yeah, I don't think he went the way that he wanted to. He wanted a proper send off, and I don't think he got it. I mean, I think everybody has that sense of pride that competes in the ring. I'm sure that you would know this, Dutch. Everybody has a sense of pride that comes with that and wanting a proper send-off.
Here's Goldberg that came out of obscurity, and they put him in the ring. And even after all this time he's spent in the business, he's still not that good.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he does a few things, but he's geared up for a 4-minute match. That's what he's geared up for. And I guarantee you they could have pulled anybody out of the hat that was big, muscled up, and put him in Goldberg's place. And Goldberg think he got himself over. He didn't get himself over. What got him over was the bookers that booked him to get over.
Yeah.
And if he can't see that, there's no hope for him. When they tell everybody, don't go more than 3 minutes for this guy, don't go. And when he got in the ring, people were used to seeing that he's going to massacre this guy in 3 minutes. If he'd have went 6 minutes back in those days, he'd have been dead.
Mm.
Yep.
So the bookers got him over.
With that speech, what I would have done with that speech was the broadcaster to say tomorrow night on Monday Night Raw on Netflix, Bill Goldberg's retirement speech, instead of doing it on NBC.
Well,
so now you're making must-see TV for the Goldberg fans, whether win or loss. They get to see, and they're going to think that there's going to be some sort of an angle coming out of it, probably, if they would have held it for the next night.
Well, I'm going to do an experiment real quick. I'm going to mute Apter's mic real quick. And
hey, that sounds better already.
Yeah.
I'm still hearing a little low. You hear that?
Yeah, I hear on yours too. Yeah, it's fun. This is fun. I don't know.
You want Chris? You want me to dump out and try to come back in?
Yeah, do the same thing, Bill. Do the same thing. Yeah.
Yeah, and
Dutch, you sound the best.
Yeah. Just leave me and the doctor here. We'll have the cure for you guys when you get back.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. All right.
What do you think about it? What do you think of Goldberg's speech?
Check 1, 2. Yeah, that sounds fine. Sounds fine now. Yeah. Yeah. I think it was one of them. And now it's doing it again. I don't know. All right. Check. Yeah, it's weird. We're live, pal.
Yeah.
It's whatever.
I don't like my spot on the screen. We got to change it.
Where do you want to be?
I want to be right. Oh, that's better.
There you go. Parts' family.
Yeah.
So I think Goldberg's speech was what he wanted before it got cut off. I mean, I think he wanted the whole thing to be the way that it wanted to. I think he was just. They
wouldn't have done that to Undertaker
or Cena.
Well, no, that's not true. NBC would have cut it off. Period. The end. I think that whole Seth Rollins thing loused up the timing. Whether it was a shoot or not a shoot, I think it loused up the timing.
Do you think they would have done it to Undertaker?
NBC would have pulled the plug at 11 o'clock for their news on the network. Period. The end.
You got Goldberg's number. We're gonna hook Bill up with Goldberg so Bill can tell him.
No. Well, he knows.
You tell him, when you, Bill.
I like I said, on WrestleBinge, You can look and on the interviews that I did with his son, and his son
Hold
agreed.
on,
He
Bill.
said
I
at
think
11
I think we
o'clock.
figured. Hold on. I think we figured out what it is. I think it's Dutch's. I
No,
think Dutch is the culprit because I
now
think.
it's me.
Yeah,
Somebody's got their volume up,
I
and
think
that's
it's
where we're getting
because
feedback.
we hear echo to your phone, Dutch. Let's try muting you for a second. Boom! There it is.
Hello.
There it is.
Is that
Yes,
it?
indeed.
And
There
I
it
got
is.
blamed. I got heat.
Dutch
Well, like
Mantell's Mike. He is the one. He is the one, ladies and gentlemen. It is solved. I think. Yes. I think Dutch. If you put on some headphones, I know that you're using your mic. I think if you put on
on
headphones,
my computer for some reason. That's why I'm using the phone.
gotcha. Can you put on a mic, or can you? Do you have headphones?
I
you
do,
put
but I don't think they work on this phone.
on your phone? Maybe if you have an audio, perhaps.
There should be a
It
way
was
to
me all along.
I can hear you a little bit.
You
Check
can hear
1
us
2.
now?
Yeah,
That sound better?
It's Dutch's phone. Because we can hear ourselves on your phone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
feedback.
right.
So-
Yeah, I got blamed for everything, especially in TNA.
All right, so
So
this
what
is what we'll
about-
do. I'll
what
mute
about-
Dutch's mic while somebody talks, and then Dutch, when it's time for you to talk, give me a gimmick here. All right.
Okay.
All right, go, Bill.
So, as I said, my fear here, are we going to have a rash of comebacks here? Is the Undertaker's retired? I'm not going to work again. He's helping out at NXT, and that whole thing that he did in the ring tonight made me feel like, oh, maybe he saw a Goldberg thing, and maybe he wants to do one more last match.
I don't think that's going to be the case. No ye for Vince Russo. Go Vince Russo, and then I'll give the floor to Dutch after you. One last match.
Well, yeah, I was just reading. I mean, Taker was talking about he had heart surgery after WrestleMania 41.
Yeah.
He's going to get back in the ring. I got to be honest with you, Bill. I'm so tired of all this stuff. I'm so tired of seeing the Bill Goldbergs, and I'm so tired of seeing the Undertakers, and I'm so tired of seeing guys that are 5'6", 150 pounds. Bill, come on, let's be honest, Bill. What we're seeing is not wrestling. I don't know what it is. It is not enjoyable. You're sitting here, Bill, you're talking about Monday night at Madison Square Garden once a month, and I watched all those shows growing up, Bill. And what we're seeing today is an absolute joke. It's an embarrassment. And it's so funny because I did a podcast today, and I released it at 12 o'clock midnight, Chris, as soon as we were done with our show last night. And the headline was 15% of the WWE roster are professionals. 85% are kids that had a dream and somehow found themselves in a wrestling ring.
Okay, so that leads me to the next question.
And hold on,
that.
and I do want to say, did you see that interview with Drew McIntyre today, Chris?
I've not yet. No.
He said the same thing. He said 25% of this roster belongs on this roster. And Drew talks about, my friends call me and say, Drew, I watched the wrestling show tonight. I could beat those guys up in the ring. And Drew was saying on the show, guys, at least go to the gym. At least make an effort to go to the gym. Bill, these are not pros. These are not pros that you were interviewing and sitting next to a PWI in your freaking heyday. These are children. They are hacks. They are not professional. And quite frankly, Bill, they suck. And the only reason I watch wrestling is in 2025 is because of shows like this that pay me. If I did not get paid to watch professional wrestling, it would be the absolute last thing. I would watch ballet before I watch professional wrestling.
He gets paid?
Yeah.
Let me say something.
Yes.
All right. Hold on. I'll let you respond since it was a direct mention about you, Bill, and then I'll give the floor to Dutch Mantell.
Okay.
Go for it.
All right. So I asked somebody today, an older fan, who currently watches WWE and AEW, I said, first wrestler that comes to your head in WWE. And he couldn't come up with a name. Now, we always had Bret Hart, Hulk Hogan, Ultimate War. We always had these names that you could rattle off for years. And right now on the roster, who do you, do you think of Cody Rhodes? Do you think of Gunther? Who do you think of, like, right off the top of your head, when it used to be so easy to rattle off the name of 10 people?
Yep.
All right, Dutch Mantell, what you got, my man?
Go ahead, Dutch. All you, Dutch.
No, who do I think of when I think of WWE? I think of Steve Austin. That was the most no BS type guy out there. He'd get in the ring, he kicked somebody's rear end, and he backed up what he said. I don't watch it that much, but I can still name a lot more than what I guess the average fan can. But I think they've kind of gone backwards since about 8-9 months ago, because they were really, really bad at one point. And we were begging them to do something. That's when Vince was still there. Please, Vince, do something. Speed it up or work an angle between somebody. But I think what they're doing is fine with me, as long as they can do numbers and they can do sellouts and they have that distribution syndication. I think they're in good shape, because really I tried to watch SmackDown a few times. I'm begging for it to get over. I'm just begging, please get
now
through.
It's down to 2 hours.
Well, even 2 hours. That's a chore. But anyway, that's what I had to say. So
yeah, I got a follow-up question to you, Dutch, when it comes to that. So you talked about the last 8 or 9 months. Here's my question to you, Dutch, and I'll let Vince and Bill take over after Dutch does. So there was a really interesting period around a year and a half ago when the finish the story, Cody Rhodes, Rock involvement, Mama Rhodes, all of that stuff. That was an interesting point of the WWE, that it could have went somewhere different. Cena won, Cody won at WrestleMania 40. That was a really, really good moment. Everybody put that weekend over. It was a really good culmination to the Rock involvement. After that, Cody went to a point where he's feuding with just random people, Shinsuke Nakamura, and they're just throwing random Dominic Mysterio. He had a match with him, and he's feuding with random people en route to during his title reign. And I think it's one of those things that it really could have went somewhere. It really could have sparked a new era and generation and boom period as far as it. What do you think has caused it from that time, a year and a half ago, from the Rock Cody era, Roman Reigns involved, Seth Rollins involved? Why do you think why do you think it's become less interesting and it had an opportunity to soar as far as trajectory is concerned?
Well, I wish I had an answer to that. I'll tell you who else thinks they might need an answer to that is WWE Creative. They don't know what's going on either. Because like you said, it was really, really, it was a prime moment for them to really pop something. And remember, when they got behind Roman, it took 3 years to get rid of that. And he was over like Rover, as they say. And Cody, I've never been totally sold on Cody, but he must sell a bunch of merchandise, so they keep him in that spot. But I don't think that creative was zoned in. I think they were trying to do almost too much with everybody instead of doing the right stuff with about 6 or 8 guys. Because when you dilute it that much, I mean, your mind could be talking about some guy who's a mid-carder that's really, you're going to have to really, to get him over, you're going to have to really put the push. But you can't put the push on everybody at the same time. So, but I did notice that, because a year and a half ago, they were in a lot better shape. or it felt to me like they were in better shape than they are now. They're in good shape now, but let's see where they go from here.
Yeah. Bill Apter. What's your answer to that
Bottom
question?
line here is too much product. It's become a factory. There's too much of it. It's a money-making thing. It's a TV show. They're not concerned about the live gates as much as the ratings, as much as the sponsors. There is so much going on and so many different writing teams. After a while, it's like when you're working for a company and they just have so much product, it just bursts out at the seam, and it just can't all be right. It's just, I don't know what their creative is looking at, but they're not looking at long-term programs. They're looking to create what's coming up on the next PLE. That's what it's all about now.
Yeah. Vince, what do you think, man? It had an opportunity. We talked about that many times as far as just how much fertile ground was there after WrestleMania 40 when Cody beat The Rock, and it just had an opportunity. It didn't capitalize on it. What do you think happened there, Vince?
I think TKO happened.
Okay.
That's exactly what I think happened. I think because two things happened, Chris, with TKO. Two things happened. One is exactly what Bill said. We are now content creators. Whoever is going to pay us for content, we'll give them a television show. And like Bill said, I was a writer. Trust me, I know how this works. Dutch was a writer. We know how this works. The more and more and more content you've got to churn out, the more and more and more it's going to be watered down. So they clearly bastardized their product, and they knew they were bastardizing their product. They knew with every show they add, the quality is going to get less and less and less. So they sacrificed the product for the almighty dollar. I don't think Vince McMahon would have done that. I think if Vince McMahon would have got to the point where we have too many shows and the product is really being watered down, I think Vince would have had a cutoff. On top of that, you had the Netflix deal for millions and millions and millions and millions of dollars. Once they got that deal, the check's already been cashed, man. The check's already been cashed. It doesn't matter if the show is good or bad. They're getting the same amount of money. So why should they put in this extra effort, this concerted effort, when no matter how many people watch on Netflix, they've already been paid? So I really think it was it's TKO stepping in and the way TKO is conducting their business compared to the way the WWE used to conduct their business.
Yeah, the TKO's thinking, we bought this thing, so now we can up the ante and do what we want. These people work for us.
Yeah. Good points, fellas. Good points. Let's address some super chats before we go. We got Awesome Sauce, $5. Bill, if there was an MSG Mount Rushmore, who would you pick? For me, it would be Antonio Roca. Bruno, Hawk, fourth could be Backlund, Andre Morales, Miguel Perez. You got to pick one, Awesome Sauce, of the four. Bill Apter, who was your MSG Mount Rushmore?
I've got to correct it. It's Antonino Rocca.
Okay.
But that's not. So do I need four guys?
Yep.
Bruno?
No. He's just saying those are the four he would pick. So you could pick whatever four you want, Bill.
Yeah. That's his four.
It would be Bruno. It would be Pedro. It would be oh goodness, so many. I'll go way back. Buddy Rogers. Yeah, Nature Boy Buddy Rogers and Antonino Rocca.
There you go. Dutch, who's your four?
I do like Buddy Rogers and Bruno, like him. And I would pick, you got to pick Hogan. And I'm going to go out here and I'm going to pick Roddy Piper.
Yeah, great.
Okay, very nice. All right. Vince, who's your four?
Man, if we're talking MSG, because he's talking Awesome Sauce is talking specifically MSG, I'm totally going off the deep end here, man, because I'm first going with the big three. Bill Apter, the big three.
Go for
the
it.
Captain, the Wizard, and Classy Freddie Blassie. And if we're talking MSG, we're talking the Fink.
You're
There
right.
you go.
So that's my Mount Rushmore of Madison Square Garden, man.
Well, the captain's got it all, brother. Ability, agility, guts, maneuverability, brother.
Very nice.
Gordon House pie.
Awesome sauce. Apter sounds like Charlie Brown's teacher. I think we thought it was at first when he was talking, but we found out it was an echo to Dutch's phone. We figured out we were sloops for the first 15 minutes of this show, but we figured it out. Awesome sauce, $5. Vince, I know how you get Cody over. Repackage him as Michael Landon on Little House on the Prairie, and have him in suspenders and too much hair conditioner.
I don't know, Awesome Sauce, because what would he do without his pocket watch? I don't know if Cody could perform without his pocket watch, man.
He could still do the whoa gimmick with the fireworks, man. The fire with the pyro.
Well, he's in the new Naked Gun. He's got a part in the new Naked Gun.
Yes, he does. Yeah.
There you go. We got Young Reckless. Vince Chris Triple H needs to create new stars. Tired of seeing Roman, Seth, Cody, Owen, also Cena, Orton, Punk, AJ, Sheamus, Ray or Vets. Female roster is way better. I mean, we talk about that all the time as far as the desire, the need for them to create new stars for sure. Rollin $4.99.
Independence, Dr. Chris.
Say that again.
The independence, the territories back then, where if somebody was in a territory too long, they could get lost for a year somewhere else and then come back.
Yeah, that's why they used to have scouts and recruits, man. I remember when Regal used to do stuff like that all the time, man, go and scout people. Now they just have these programs, the WWE ID or whatever, and they just say, hey, we'll just we'll get first dibs on the independent company if we find you to be somebody we're interested in, and someone's having pictures and crying because they get a WWE ID opportunity. And so definitely a different type of recruiting as before it used to be. Rollin $4.99. I told AI that Sports Illustrated has Becky as the GOAT, Charlotte as 2, Trish is 3. AI has the same 3, but Trish is number 1, Charlotte number 2, Becky number 3. All right, since we're doing Mount Rushmores and GOATs before we go, let's do a quick GOAT of female wrestlers. Top 3, we'll go with Dutch Mantell first. Top 3 female wrestlers of all time.
Of all time.
Yep.
You know who I really like?
Who's that?
Who's the girl in AEW? Toni Storm.
Yeah, Toni Storm. Mm-hmm.
I think she's great. I really do, and a great gimmick. And I will go with I'm gonna go with Trish, and I'm gonna go with what was the girl who died? What's her name? China.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with her, and I'm gonna go Becky. Becky Lynch is the 4th one.
Wow, you put Toni Storm as one of the greatest of all time. Wow.
Oh, I think so.
Very nice. Okay.
I'm not saying, the wrestling ability. I'm saying interest. I think she's a very fascinating character to watch.
Nice. Bill Apter, greatest of all time. Go for it.
Oh, this is going to be a tough one. Well, of course, you got to get Moolah in there. Come on. Got to get her in there. Not only for wrestling, but running a company. China definitely would have to be in there. Vicky Williams was such a great star. And I'm going to put Rhea Ripley in as the modern one.
Interesting. Okay. Vince, top 4 all time.
I got a question, Bill, on that for a second.
Yeah.
Bill, Rhea Ripley is twice the size of all the other girls she wrestles, and yet her matches are 50-50. Yeah. So Rhea Ripley wrestles down. With that being said, how do you put her in the top 3 just because of the way she works?
Okay, and top 4, we're talking about top 4. I can understand that, definitely. I guess it's the perception of greatness. And I know the 50-50 thing has changed the whole business,
right?
The male and the female end. But I'm just looking at her as being a star that everybody will probably remember years and years from now.
Yeah.
Dutch Mantell popped on that when you said perception of greatness. That sounds like a heel 1990s WCW wrestler gimmick. The perception of greatness, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, indeed. Vince Russo. Who's your top of all time?
Well, yeah, it's tough because obviously I worked with China for a long time and I absolutely loved Joni, but she wasn't like really a great wrestler. She didn't wrestle that much. You know what I'm saying? She's, so I can't put her in that category. If we're talking great wrestler, she didn't wrestle much. You know what I mean? I never, ever saw Trish's run. I never saw Trish work ever. So I can't rate Trish. So I'm saying Moolah, like Bill said, and I mean, two of the toughest women you would ever want to meet would be Sherry Martel and Deborah Maselli. I mean, they were the real deal and literally would hurt you. I mean, they were the real deal.
I take Rhea Ripley off and I put in Medusa.
Medusa,
yeah. Nice. Absolutely.
Yeah. All right, we got one more from Rollin before we go, but Michael 199, MSG, Mount Rushmore, Bruno, Koloff, maybe Adrian Adonis.
Arion, Spiros.
Oh yeah, Spiros Arion. Yeah, that's
Spirios.
Right. And the Valiants. Very nice. All right, the last one as we go. Rollin then told AI that Sports Illustrated has Steve Austin as the GOAT. Hogan is 2, Rock is 3. AI only agreed with only Austin is number 1. AI removed Hogan and Rock from the top 3, and AI has Taker at 2 and Flair at 3. All right, real quick before we go, top 4 all time. We'll go with Bill Apter first. Quick.
Well, Bruno has got to be there. Ric Flair has got to be there. I'm going to put in Jack Briscoe. What an incredible pro wrestler. He was in Dory Funk Jr.
Very
Actually,
nice.
Harley Race. I'm giving 5. In case somebody fell off, Harley Race has got to be in
there. Dutch, you okay over there? Right?
Oh, yeah, I'm fine. I was just getting it ready here. So.
Very nice. Who you got, Dutch?
The top 4 of all time, Steve Austin. I'm going to go with him. I'm going to go with Roddy Piper. Loved him. I'm going to go with Andre, and I'm going to go the 4th guy. I'm going to go Pedro Morales.
Wow. Very nice.
I am ready for any kind of action, Beans.
Very nice. All right. Closes out, Vince. Who is your top 4 of all time?
Well, you got to go with Hulk. I mean, I think you got to go with Hulk, and Austin and Rock were so close. So you can't have one without the other. And I'm just going with number 4 because he was far and beyond my favorite, and that was Savage.
Yes, I knew that's your Savage guy. Yes, indeed.
Yeah.
Wonderful. All right, we got so many wonderful comments. I'm going to keep you on mute again, Dutch. We got so many wonderful comments of people saying we should have this for often. So it's people liked it. So it was wonderful. So we got at Dirty D Mantell for Dutch Mantell. We got at Apter One Wrestling for Bill Apter. We got at the Vince Russo for Vince Russo. We got at Chris Prolific for myself. And quick plugs for anything coming up. I know Russo, you got your gimmick. After you got your newsletters. Dutch Mantell, you just stay relevant every day because you're a legend.
I want to know where, hey Dutch, where this is an absolute shoot. I'm not even kidding you. Where can people get what you're wearing?
They can't.
They can't get one of those sweatshirts. You don't have any merch, Dutch?
Well, I don't even know where this one came from. I said, where in the heck is
I love that sweatshirt, though. I would definitely wear
where in the
that,
heck
man.
did this come from?
Yeah,
so, and I don't even know how old it is. I think it's about 10 years old or something. But
Dutch, you don't have any T-shirts or anything on Pro Wrestling Tees?
I did. But last year was a kind of a messed up year.
Yeah,
and I got all turned upside down on it.
You need to put that on there, man. That's freaking awesome what you're wearing. Look at that, man. I'd wear that in a heartbeat.
Well,
Yeah, you
Vince,
should put
right
that on
behind me,
CWC. Yeah.
I'm a
10
handsome
years ago,
I'm a handsome guy sometimes.
All the time, Dutch. All the
Very
time.
nice, very nice.
10 years
And Bill,
ago.
your book. Bill, your book. Where do
Yeah,
we get
it's
the
right
book,
there.
Bill?
10 years ago. Is wrestling fixed? Dr. Chris, what's the answer?
At Dirty
I didn't even
Dutch
look.
Mantell at gmail.com.
There you go. Very nice. All right, gentlemen.
Wait,
We
he was plugging his book. Let Bill plug the book.
No,
Yeah,
no,
he did.
that's
He already
10
plugged
years
it.
ago. This
I got it.
I can't
Okay.
believe that. 10 years, Bill. I
Yeah.
remember when the book first came out. That's great, man. Good for you, man.
Yes, indeed.
Okay. You know
That's no worries.
your friend Jim Cornette. You know what he said about my book?
What do you say?
Bill Apter's book sucks because he doesn't bury anybody.
Yeah, Bill's not the burying type. No.
No, he's not. He's not. That's why I love him.
Yeah.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, I am Dr. Chris. We also have Dutch Mantell, the man, Dutch Mantell, the man, the myth, the legend. And we also have Vince Russo, former WCW World Heavyweight Champion, ladies and gentlemen. Go over to Pancakes and Power Slams. I'm heading over there. I'm going to talk about Mike Santana had an interview and talked about addiction with Ariel Hawani recently. And so I'm going to talk about the psychology of addiction. And so be sure to go right over there.
I got smarting Bill up real quick on some before we go. Bill, I don't know if you said this or not. I don't know if you saw this or not. This is an absolute shoot. I'm not pulling your leg. Barry Manilow announced the Vegas residency starting in 2026. Did you see that today?
He's been there. He's been at the Westgate.
Yeah, he's going back though. 2000. I thought he gave his last show.
No, that was well. He saw Goldberg, and he figured, his retirement tour, he's going to keep going.
Yeah, 2026.
What's your Manilow song, Vince?
Text it to him.
Come on,
Go on, Vince. Go on, Vince.
We're two ships that pass in the night.
Do you know what that's about?
Two ships that pass in the night?
When he grew up, he didn't know his father at all. And when he finally met him, today the song is, yo, we're two ships that pass in the night. And we smile and we say, it's all right.
Right.
Let's close it with the duet.
Go ahead, Bill.
We're still here. It's just that we're outside.
I like two ships that pass in the night. I'm going to clue you in on one song. Look up a song that he did that's not famous called Bring On Tomorrow. It's my favorite Manilow song. What album is that on, Bill? The last one he did. I'm going to listen to it. Bring On Tomorrow. Just Bring On Tomorrow. I will listen to that in honor of you, Bill.
Very nice. Very nice. All right, ladies and gentlemen, you see the four here. We had a wonderful discussion. This is the first time I think all four of us at once.
Definitely. Yes, it was. Yes, it was.
On behalf of Bill Apter, Dutch Mantell, Vince Russo, I'm Dr. Chris Featherstone. This is Unscripted. Have a good night, everybody. So long.